Welcome back, guys. We wanted to start the second half of this segment with a discussion about which do you guys prefer, singles, as in comic book
Single
issues?
people like dating, or do you prefer married couples like swingers?
Like trades, yeah. Singles.
Oh, so different topic.
You're at the wrong discussion table.
Oh.
That one's over down across the street.
You sure?
You want to check it out?
At the Bonds?
Yeah, at the Bonds, right over there.
Wow.
I knew there was something up with that Bonds.
But yeah, singles, comic book issues versus trades. Which do you prefer to read? Why? What are your pros and cons for each? We want to see, what's your preferences. So,
Mine's gonna be singles. I can't wait 6 months plus for a book to finally come out and trade. Plus, I mean, if you're already gonna be in a comic shop, I mean, I understand if you only have access to the internet comics through the internet or through bookstores, then this discussion is moot to you. It's completely pointless. But if you can get into a shop, if you can find one in your local area, you can find them easily online. Go single issues. Just find. I mean, they were. It's a little bit different now too with the way comics are written. More like comics are written in 6-issue arcs.
it's like episodes. They do like a cliffhanger kind of thing, or they leave you wanting more for the next next installment to be continued.
Yes and no, but it's more than just like the story's not complete. They form it to be a 6 issue, so they're making it 4 trades now. But I mean, I can't sit there. I can't like each month a new one comes out. I want to read it. I want to read it right then, see what's going on. I want to keep up to date. It's like saying, do you want to wait for DVD seasons, or do you want to wait for the episodes?
We were having that discussion earlier. Whether you want to watch it as like Lost as it's going, or you want to wait for the box set of like Firefly or whatever.
I think as it's going, because I want to have discussions with friends like every week. Did you read that?
Yeah,
and then
you don't want to wait. Like, don't tell me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have a friend who's like, hey, did you see the new episode of Entourage? This is what happens. Like, I hate you now because you ruined my life a little bit. Not you.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Nick Fury.
But eye patch and a denim jacket.
But I noticed that some writers are also catering to single issues versus trades, whereas I know like Warren Ellis with Fell or Brubaker with the single issues, they add extra commentary or like reader email. With Scarlet even with Brian Bendis. And in other cases, when you go to their trades of that same collection, you don't get any of that. They just leave it out and they just do the thing. Whereas I see other artists, like with, for example, this trade right here, Chew, they do all the variant covers in the back. They have some sketches from the artist. There's incentives for each.
That's like one case too is Walking Dead, where they originally did this. They didn't include any of the covers in the trades because Kirkman wanted to be like, you know what, the people who are getting the issues, they get all that. They get all those covers. They get that little bit. They get the letters pages. With this, you're just getting the story, and that's
straight through. And it actually works that way.
And later on, when they collected in hardcover, which is much more of a collector's item.
He does a lot of different collections like that.
And when they did the hardcover, they're like, you know what? If you're buying the hardcover, you're shelling out how much, like $100. You're going to get everything included because you are that much of a fan. You're going to go that hardcore.
No, that's a good point. But like, Victor, what do you think?
It's really like both for me. It depends on what it is. For like a title like Ultimate Spider-Man, I pick up every week, or every month. That's one that I constantly have to read. I won't wait for the trade for that one. Fables and Walking Dead, these are 2 series that I'm able to like wait for each trade to come out for. But I have enough titles to like kind of keep me held until like the next trade for Walking Dead or Fables comes out. So for the most part, if it's a series that I'm picking up that I have to read, it's going to be singles. There's a few titles I'll pick up only in trade, so it's kind of a little of both, but mostly singles.
And I'm sorry to cut off too. I found like a lot of people too, if they depending on the collector, if they're like, oh, I got the first issue from #1, they're going to go through and read them all individually. Yeah. They're not going to wait. Whereas Victor, I know for a fact, got Walking Dead as a trade just started out. So then from there on, he's like, well, I've already got the first trade.
Just finish.
Stay with that.
Yeah. Consistent.
And it's the same thing with Fables. Fables was probably out, I want to say, like 3 years by the time I started reading it. And that's why I stuck with that. And Walking Dead's a little easier if you like decide to start with trades and then decide to go with single issues. It's a little easier to do that because of how quickly the trades come out once the storyline's over. Fable's a little harder only because they wait like about 6 months after the storyline's over.
Yeah,
for the
certain
trade to come
publishers
out.
too. I know, like Image, they publish a lot of their stuff right as like the
right when the next storyline starts, the previous trade's out.
Whereas some like Secret Six, it took like a couple of months before they finally collected all the issues and put it out.
No, sorry to cut you off again.
The Secret Six, the ongoing. What I was going to say was I think it's pretty interesting that, first of all, for new readers, I get a lot of input that they prefer trades because it's easier just to read a story like that. They don't want to like pick up an issue, open the bag or whatever. It's very tedious, and it's kind of interesting that we kind of cater to that too. Us as recommending to new readers, each one of us picked a trade, not an issue, to recommend as a starting point, just to get that full story. It's all collected. It's all here. They can read it like a book. It's all collected. Like if I want to go back and read all my Batman Morrison run, like it's like 20, 30 plus issues. I got to go take it out of the long box. Get the first issue out, take it out of the board, put it back in, put it back, next one. It can be tedious sometimes.
That's one thing I was going to say too, but that's like two separate arguments. Where one is like, if I like a story enough, like Walking Dead, I have the individual issue since #1. I have the trade paperbacks just because I want to go back and reread it. But I also have a hardcover format too because I liked it that much that I want to support it, as well as have all that extra stuff.
Kirkman, you have your like #1 fan like right here.
Which is funny because he brings that and you say the Kirkman thing. It's like I'm the same way with anything Mark Millar. I get picked.
You support.
I get every issue, but after that, it's like it's going to be in my long box, but I still want to read it. So
or if you
I
get
will
issues
pick up the
signed
trade
too.
Yeah,
you don't want to go back.
Well, I get doubles, so
okay,
I'll take that chance. But yeah, I pick up the trades like a non-Millar book, Astonishing X-Men. I have the omnibus of that just because I love the story. I like to read it, but I don't want to go through my box looking for all the issues.
No.
And it's just convenient. It's more of a conveniency if you like the story.
Yeah, that's true. Chris, what do you think?
Unfortunately, I go with trades, but I do like singles, though. Don't get me wrong. To me, it's, as we mentioned before, it's like episodes versus DVD box sets. Would you rather watch it on TV and, like, wait it out?
Yeah.
But there's a difference, because, like, with TV episodes, like, it could be almost every day or every week. And, like, the best way I can put it was, like, Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid. You know, you got that, like, 5 days of a week, every week, and then they restart it, right? Well, with the singles, it's just like one issue every month, and even though that's great, and I do
sometimes every other month or delays hit in too.
Yeah, I do like episodic stuff, but then at times like I would end up forgetting what I read. I'll have to reread what I read, and I get lost. I lose the pacing of it, and that's why I kind of like trades more. Everything is one done. It's all set up nice for you, just ready to read. But then you do lose some of the quality of it too. And there's another thing I like about singles is that it's authenticity. Like
I like the feeling. I'm in the comic shop. Yeah.
It's like almost with digital distribution, but we'll get into another subject. But I like the authenticity of reading a single. I mean, nothing feels better than reading an actual single. But sometimes like a trade size, and then when you're reading a hardcover, it's distracting. Like it's huge. You get those huge bulky hardcover ones. It's just like
Absolute editions. Can you try reading that?
Oh no!
Yeah,
I could.
yeah. I have a table just for that.
A little gospel like Corinthian Absolute Planetary, page 52.
But going to that and kind of tie into to Ken's entourage point earlier, like by waiting for trades though, you do deal with the spoilers on internet.
You
friends saying
you
stuff.
guys got to be like me. I'm spoiler free, so I don't care what anybody says.
But on another note too, it's kind of my idea comes down to, it's another question was, how did you initially get introduced into comics? I started reading them when I was really young, and I was buying individual issues from the beginning because, for the most part, when back in 1990. Trades weren't as prevalent as they are now.
Yeah,
so I read individual issues. Whereas when did you start getting
back then?
It's like it's
how we roll.
It's tough. But
brotherly love.
And your lens fell.
I know it's I'm that emotional about it. But then it comes down to like, when did you start reading comics, and
how?
And how did you start reading comics?
Yeah.
When you first got into it, if trades were your main way in, then you're sticking with that because you're like, well, that's how I like to read it. I like the box sets. And that leaves you at a disadvantage to the point where it's like, okay, well, you have to wait until this comes out.
You get the pros and cons of it. Yeah.
But if you're introduced, it depends on how your introduction is, I think, a lot.
And also, I want to go back, and for those guys that like reading the old issues, like let's say the Bronze Age, Silver Age stuff, you get the Masterworks collections like all together, but sometimes they don't collect like that one-shot issue of some character you really loved or some story. I remember someone mentioned it on our page. And what do you do then? You got to go out and find that issue, and just you can't get it in a hardcover, you can't get it in a graphic, you can't get it in a full set story. You got to go out, you got to go to conventions or something like eBay or maybe, and you hunt it down. And when you do that, I mean, it's tedious, but you get a sense of accomplishment too. I think, like if I want to go and find Flex Mentallo, I got to go find in each individual issue. It's like a scavenger hunt. You go to these conventions and stuff, and it's fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it might be fun searching for these stuff, but then it becomes like a pain too, because you're at the huge and you're like, oh man, I gotta go find it. Even though that's kind of fun, but
I think I prefer single issues as well, because I just love that being able to read it, and I want to share like my thoughts with my friends and stuff with you guys and whatnot. Because I mean that's one of the main reasons I love comics. I love like discussing the story with friends, like the same way I love talking about Lost or talking about any other show I watch or any movie. I want to see it so I can talk about it and have some
Gossip Girl.
Yeah. We're here at the View. Our next no, okay. Bad joke. Out the window. So yeah.
Hello, Star Jones. That's
So you
Amanda
said
Waller.
singles?
Amanda Waller.
The wall!
Yeah, absolutely.
Singles?
I mean, yeah.
I'll go with singles because that's what I get most.
Trades. I'm sorry, guys.
It's a tough show. I mean, it's a really gray subject. You can't, like... some cases it's good, some cases bad, but if I had to choose, I'd go with singles as well, yeah.
Also, I'm the odd man out, guys.
Another point for making singles is, if you go back and collect back issues, there's more collectability to, so a lot of people always criticize me, like, oh, you're addicted to comics. I'm like, you're addicted to cigarettes. Like, what do you can't re-spend a cigarette. You can't resell a cigarette. I can resell my addiction of comics on a secondary market and make money back. So that's
if he does that.
If he does that. I'm not going to do that. My kids
soon enough you're going to see people taking, like, comic breaks outside their work and, like,
exactly.
But at the same time, comics versus cigarettes, you're not going to die because of comic books.
Exactly.
I don't know. What are you reading and driving?
I've done that once. It ended badly.
But on another note, too, by buying single issues from comic shops as opposed to being online, you're supporting a comic shop, which is a brick and mortar store.
That is true. That is another point.
And that's, I mean, I'm obviously biased. I work in a shop. I want you to come in and buy those issues because it helps our business. It's what's built the comic industry for a good long while. And I will say that by going to trade formats, getting into bookstores and stuff, and being so much more accessible, it's not necessarily hurting us, but it's definitely, we've noticed that certain sales do, like, because
trades they sell for really discounted prices online, and at stores they have all the coupons and stuff. Whereas, like, the single issues, you come to the comic shop and you get them. It's the way they're distributed as well, as you're saying.
And it's nice coming to the comic book shop.
That's
because you meet other people too, and it's almost a social forum too. No. You guys get to discuss about what you like too. So, like, you see someone picking up
shows you
like a certain
online.
internet web show that I've seen.
And isn't that what it's all about, guys?
We're all big fans here.
So yeah, let us know what you guys think too. We'd love to hear what you guys our thoughts are on singles versus trades. Thanks for tuning in again. Thank you, Victor, for stopping by again. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me again. Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Take care.
Laters.
You ready?
Who the hell are you?
It's me, Krush. Don't you remember we were at the comic book shop the other day?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Dude.
That's okay. So you want to play some Raw?
I was thinking let's get some Taco Bell first.
Okay, Taco Bell and wrestling.
I love Taco Bell.
These guys are gay for each other.
What do you have? No hair, no hair. Or hair, no hair. So,
welcome back, guys. We're here again. Didn't take too long on the break, but
I won the bid, by the way.
Yeah.
You lost to me.
How was the number 2 pencil, by the way? Is that you were bidding for number 2 pencil?
No, I don't get this reference.
No?
I'm sorry. Is this a reference?
No, it's not a reference.
Okay, then why not?
I'm caught up for
That's what Gadget Jets Jam
exactly.
Monterey Jack was a number 2 pencil.
Okay, we're building it up, and you just drop it. Okay. Thank you for picking that up. I appreciate that.
All right.